You're not here just to sound like every other book, every other author. You're here to be you, to share your message in your voice with your words. So, in this episode of Coffee with Karma, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 ways to make your book uniquely yours. Hi, I'm Carma Spence, and I help executive coaches, business leaders, and consultants write, publish, and market the client attracting book that they were meant to write. And they get it done right the first time while having fun and making it go more swiftly because of AI assistance. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so that the YouTube algorithm can bring this video and others like it to more people so that they can get their message out, writing the right book at the right time and growing their business with books. Number 1, ditch the copycat trap. There is often an urge to copy what is working out there. And yes, there's something to be said for that, but people are coming to you because they want you. So this is what I call the pink gorilla. The pink gorilla is what everyone else is talking about. Everyone's either for it or against it or whatever. You have your own take on the pink gorilla. And your option is to either dance with it, which means you're agreeing with it, you're going with it, you're putting your spin on it, or you can confront the pink gorilla and say, I don't agree with you, and this is why. That's one of the ways that you make your book yours. You either dance or confront with the giant pink gorilla that is in the room of your industry. Number 2, stop second guessing. Trust your gut and stand by your message. A message was put on your heart because of your experience and your knowledge. And that's what people are coming to your book for. So don't try to soften its edges or try to cram it into somebody's hole that the peg's the wrong size for. Own your message your way. And the people who are meant to work with you will be attracted to that message. And number 3, let your quirk shine. This is what I call your geek factor. Let your geek factor shine. You've got your quirks, your individualism, your things that you do. I mean, for example, I tend to giggle a lot. You will see that on my videos. I love science fiction, fantasy, classic horror. You will see episodes every quirky Friday that bring in my love of film and television into the world of books and book marketing. In fact, this week, I will be talking about the Beverly Hillbillies Guide to Strategic and Fun Book Plan. That's totally me. I watched that show growing up. I loved it. And so I'm bringing into how I do things. Maybe you're into something else. Maybe you're into knitting, or maybe you're into extreme sports, or maybe I don't what's your thing? Can you figure out a way to bring that in to what you do? Another example, I love to cook. My last book, Serve Up Your Book, used the food metaphor, the food cooking buffet metaphor throughout the entire book. I leaned into it. And if you don't like that kind of thing, you're probably not my kind of peep. And that's okay. There's someone else out there who will help you do what you do that's more in alignment with who you are. So when you own your quirks, your geek factor, you actually magnetize the people who are meant to work for you because they like you. They grok you. Now, if you've been enjoying this video, you will enjoy the Backstage Blend. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/Carma Spence, and you will get audio versions of this podcast. You'll get audio notes of my random thoughts about business and writing books. You'll get unique deep dives into current news and trends. In fact, coming up next week, I'm going to be doing a deep dive into how the rise and fall of Skype can inform what you can do in your business. And those are only available if you join the Backstage Blend for only $5 a month. It's like a cup of coffee a month. That's it. And for example, you will see a blog post on my blog that's about the rise and fall of Skype. but it only provides a small portion of the dive that I'm providing to my blenders. Become a blender. Join the Backstage Blend at buymeacoffee.com/Carma Spence. And now back to our show. Number 4, sound like a conversation. This is probably the easiest way to write a book, is just to write like you talk. Yes, you're going to have to clean up the ums and the ahs and the stuttering and the whatever quirks you have in the way you talk. But if your book sounds more conversational, it makes it easier to read and easier to learn and easier to attract your ideal clients because they hear your voice in their head. And they either like it or they don't like it. If they don't like it, they don't work with you. If they like it, they'll get on your list and eventually they will hire you. And how do you do this? One really easy way, and this is for people who don't like to write, you record yourself talking. You could take an entire video like this, transcribe it, and turn it into a book. Now, this one's probably too short to be an entire book. It'd probably be a chapter, but you get it. If you could talk about your topic for an hour, you could use the recording of that hour to write your book. That's the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, you just write like the thoughts come out of your head, or have someone interview you and then transcribe that audio. There's so many ways to do this, but the more conversational you are, the more you seem like a person rather than a textbook, the better that book's going to be at attracting your ideal clients. And number 5, the power of personal stories. When you weave in your personal stories, it makes your book more interesting. And this can be case studies. This can be like stories that are related to your business, but they don't have to be. For example, yesterday I sent out an email and I posted on social media about how my husband and I like to go antiquing. Not because we buy antiques, but because we just like looking at the stuff, the ephemera, the flotsam and jetsam of life and history. And I talked about how one time I found this basket of old photographs. I mean, like old, like the types of photographs where the people had to stand like sit really still for a really long time so that they wouldn't come out all blurry. And as I looked at them, I thought, wow, these are like people's mothers and fathers and daughters and son. They had lives, they had stories, they had people who loved them. And now their family photos are being sold for 10 cents a piece. And it made me so sad. And that made me think about all the books that people write. They pour their heart into them, they love them, and then they put them out to the world and nothing. Nothing. It's heartbreaking. And that's part of the reason why I do what I do. I do what I do because I want to prevent that heartbreak. Yes, almost every book's going to eventually end up in somebody's thrift store being sold for 10 cents. But if before it got there, it made a difference, who cares? Because that's why you're writing the book. You're writing the book to make a difference. You're not writing a book so that someone buys it, doesn't read it, and then puts it in the thrift store. You're writing it so that someone buys it, they read it, they transform into something a little bit better than they were before, or their business is a little bit better than before, or whatever it is that you were trying to write your book for. And at least some of those people who read those books work with you, therefore transforming your life and business. When that book does that, then it can retire in a thrift store. Anyway, that's an example of a personal story. I took a story of me just finding some photographs and turned it into a story about what I do in my business. And one tip that one of my mentors suggested, she it isn't even her idea. She got it from another guy who did a TED talk about it, is every day at the end of the day, put in a file things that happened to you that just stood out in your day. So like, oh, wow, I found a penny and I picked it up. And then I had, oh, good luck. Or I saw this interesting thing, or this commercial made me think of this thing, and you write it down. In fact, I'm reading a book right now, Honey Trap Marketing by Deirdre Din. I don't know how to pronounce the name. And I'm at the point where she's talking about storytelling and how she keeps like a log of this. And the way she remembers the stories is she names them like friends. So it's like the one about finding a penny, the one about the Ultraman doll, the one about the antique photos, that kind of thing. Then what you do is you have this entire like database of random ordinary stories. And then what you could do is when something comes up, you're like, what kind of story do I have that could lead to that idea? And if you can't figure that out, guess what? You can plop the story into ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini and say, can you help me find the lessons I can teach my audience that this story could lead to? It'll give you some ideas. Then you massage and run off and do it yourself. There you go. Now you've got personal human stories that come from your own life that showcase a mini hero's journey, going from the ordinary world to the extraordinary life in this tiny microcosm. There, you put those in your book is unique. Ta-da! Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these 5 tips. Ditch the copycat trap. Stop second guessing. Let your quirks shine. Sound like a conversation and add in your personal stories. Again, on Friday, I will be back sharing basically some fun tips about how to create a book plan, being inspired by the Beverly Hillbillies. I will see you then. Watch the next video. Watch the next video if you like this one. This is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.